Utah Governor Spencer Cox has provided more details on the suspected Charlie Kirk assassin, Tyler Robinson. Roll this up over at culturecrusader.substack.com. I encourage you to head on over there, become a subscriber, and become a paid subscriber and help me bring this to you, help support us bring this information to you. So in an interview with NBC News on September 14th, Cox shared this. There will be much more coming out on Tuesday when charges are filed. That's tomorrow. They are gathering evidence, interviewing known friends, people around the suspect. What we know so far, there are a couple of things we can confirm that have been reported. We can confirm that, again, according to family and people that we're interviewing, he does come from a conservative family, but his ideology is very different than his family, and so that's part of it. He then kind of shared how different that ideology is, saying, we do know that the roommate that we originally talked about, we can confirm that that roommate is a boyfriend who is transitioning from male to female, so we know that piece. I will say that that person has been very cooperative with authorities, and we have additional evidence, forensic evidence that has been processed. We'll be sharing that when charges are filed on Tuesday. So he is confirming that Robinson's ideology is very different from his conservative family, so much so that he literally has a boyfriend who is transitioning from male to female. Cox went on to reveal that Robinson is not cooperating with officials and that his boyfriend was shocked by the assassination. However, he noted that all the information they have gathered is confirming that Robinson is the one who assassinated Charlie Kirk. Cox then shared how Robinson was radicalized, albeit noting that they are still gathering information. He said this was a very normal young man, a very smart young man, 4.0 student, I think a 34 on the ACT. As an aside, a 34 is the average score for students admitted to Harvard according to the ACT website. Anyways, Cox went on and said, went to my alma mater, Utah State University, but was only there for a very short amount of time, dropped out after less than one semester. The radicalization seemed to happen after he had moved back to the southern part of Utah. Clearly, there was a lot of gaming going on. Friends that have confirmed there was kind of that deep, dark internet Reddit culture and these other dark places of the internet where this person was going deep. You saw that on the casings, obviously referring to the bullet casings. I'm assuming we're going to learn a lot more about what his internet habits were and maybe kind of the individuals that he was engaging with that potentially radicalized him or did indeed radicalize him to carry out this absolutely heinous, disgusting, and evil act. But as far as those bullet casings, he talked about this in a press conference last week. The casing on the fired bullet said, notices bulges, OWO, what's this? According to Know Your Meme, this phrase is a copy pasta parroting both furries and online role-playing subcultures, which is typically used online as a method of trolling. Obviously, I think there is a reference to transgenderism there. Inscriptions on 3 unfired cases read, hey fascists, catch. That was on one of them. A second one said, oh, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow, Chow. And then the third one said, if you read this, you are gay, LMAO. Given the other inscriptions, it is quite possible the Bella Ciao inscription is a reference to the Bella Ciao song, which was used by Italian partisans fighting the German Nazis during World War II. It has become an anthem of the anti-fascist movement. I didn't include it in this article, but I believe on one of the bullet casings as well, there were inputs from potentially helldivers to what that brings down a bomb on the bugs and stuff that people are fighting in that game. It is kind of an arrow combination that you plug in and it can bring down that weapon, that bomb. Later in the interview, Cox did confirm that Robinson had a leftist ideology. He specifically said this, there clearly was a leftist ideology with this assassin. So making that abundantly clear and clarifying that, obviously, anyone kind of listening to what he had said earlier on where he said that his ideology is very different than his family, so that's part of it, probably kind of already realized that, but he made it crystal clear right here, saying there clearly was a leftist ideology with this assassin. He also provided similar information to ABC News, but he also went on to discuss what kind of evidence they had regarding Robinson being a leftist. In that interview with ABC News, he said this, That has come from his acquaintances and his family members. That's where that initial information has come from. Certainly, there will be much more information released in the charging documents as they're bringing all of that together. So obviously, we're going to get a lot more information likely on Tuesday, tomorrow, with the charging documents when he is charged. But based on the information we're hearing from Spencer Cox here, it is very clear that this man was indeed a leftist. He is a homosexual living with another man who is transitioning to a woman and was clearly, seemingly, maybe not clearly, but was seemingly motivated by ideology, which is what most people assumed was the case, given the fact that he was, or given the fact that he did assassinate Charlie Kirk, a right-wing conservative political activist. But this is the latest information we have regarding Robinson and his potential motive and the investigation into the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Let me know what you make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, and to always, always speak the truth.
Why would you be afraid of the people? Why are you not afraid of God instead of man?